technology under threat from dinosaurs.
That's it. That's literally what the entire game is about. Dinosaurs are popping in through portals for some reason. I don't know why, don't ask me. And they're just attacking the planet in swarms, so just get in a mech suit and start shooting them. And honestly, that's as complicated as it needs to be.
Ibius's superior dinosaur forecasting and cutting-edge exosuit technology were able to keep human casualties to 0.
This is Exoprimal, a game that considers dinosaur storms to be a daily occurrence.
This is footage of last week's major dinosaur outbreak.
It's a weird blend of multiple games. It's like, it has mech suits like Anthem, but it has like quadrupled the amount, so it's automatically better. It has swarm mechanics like Earth Defense Force. It also has a competitive aspect. It's very weird, but it's also, you're in a robot suit shooting dinosaurs, so I really can't complain.
Meanwhile, Ibius continues to recruit candidates to become new exofighters, humanity's greatest hope.
So there are multiple exosuit classes. There's Assault, there's Support, there's Tank, and there's another class that I'm forgetting right now. So after a few basically news infomercials of the whole process, breaking down what the world is,
Ibius's advancements make our world a better place. And we owe it all to Hyzal. Technology for the future. Technology for you.
you get introduced to your create a character.
Another exofighter recruit, right? Welcome to Ibius.
I was happy with how it turned out up until it spit me back into the menu and showed that none of my choices actually stuck.
Data logging complete.
So after that quick disappointment, I went into the firing range, did a quick little tutorial where I found out that the gunplay and mechanics felt pretty good.
Move into the right-hand legs. Focus fire on the distant targets.
Also, apparently there is a Fortnite building mechanic where you can create different platforms that you can shoot through to help you survive the dinosaur swarms, which you can see right now. They literally just pop out of a portal and just start charging you.
Let's give it a try. Fire Jedi's cluster salvo through the wall and eliminate.
Each mech suit also has its own super ability. As you can see here, this one is just shoot every gun imaginable all at once. And you can also quick swap your suit on the fly and run around as a basic human, even though I would not recommend it because you are very small and fragile.
Block model features a state-of-the-art shield. Utilize your standard attacks to eliminate targets.
Eventually, I end up in the medic class when they say that I can now activate a Dominator, which basically means, hey, just lasso some dinosaur from 1 billion years ago and just take control, mind jack the dinosaur, and play as him. And the dinosaur looks super cool, and he can do combos when you're in control of him. I'm doing slide, stabs, and slashes with my tail, using my horns, just crushing people with my feet and mouth. But unfortunately there is a timer, so you will either run out of time and have to give up control, or your character will just die and then you have to go back to being a mech.
You may now return to your interview location and await instructions.
Once you're done with training, they basically say, hey, good job, soldier, you get to be on the front lines. And your created character starts to think about his choices and really wonder, is this really worth $12 an hour? So the first bit of gameplay actually starts, and there's only one game available in the demo, and it's a team-based race competition duel.
Welcome to my test facility. I require exofighters.
It's unique in you start off separate and you can see after images of your enemy team, and you race to complete objectives faster with better scores. And then at the very end, you actually go head to head in different objective-based modes.
Dinosaur call.
Already, I'm seeing characters that look like RC, I'm seeing some dude that looks like Ghost Rider, and I see this huge motherfucker called who is just giant and has a huge gun, and I immediately decide to choose as him. He is bulky with a Gatling gun that can auto-lock, and I have a arm laser cannon attached. And now you can see, it's kind of like a Left 4 Dead scenario, but it's all velociraptors. It's crazy. Also, there are pterodon. I guess I'm keeping that in. And they also just add compysauruses. Like, there is I've seen so many different types of dinosaurs in this game. It's crazy.
Dinosaurs are attacking the beetle. Pay attention to its durability.
And the swarms, the amount of dinosaurs that are able to be put on screen is actually impressive. The game ran pretty well on my PlayStation 5 while handling hundreds of dinosaurs and explosions. And in between the swarms of velociraptors, you'll just get a patchy cephalosaurus that'll just headbutt you.
Objectives slower than the enemy team.
Here we get into the PvP section of the game mode, where at the end, the final mission is you have 12 minutes, collect a bunch of energy cells, and you get those by either grabbing them on the map as they spawn in, or you kill your enemy.
Initiating environmental purges have been placed.
Now, I tried to do it, but this is also my first round of playing, so I kind of got overwhelmed by just the amount of everything that's happening. And even here, this shows how deadly the enemy team is. I just get obliterated from off screen without even knowing what hit me.
Dominator activated. Take advantage of this unique asset.
This also shows the danger of the dinosaur swarm is that if you are not paying attention and you get surrounded, you are not as buff as you think you are. But when you get the dinosaurs on the wrong foot, you can easily melt their health. So it felt pretty balanced of work as a team and you live longer. And it works for both the enemy and you. Now, unfortunately, I did end up losing the first match, but it was so fun I didn't really care, and the end losing screen was one hell of a thing. Getting absolutely ripped to shreds by the dinosaurs you were just massacring by the dozen every second. And funny enough, when I got to the end credit scene, I could tell everybody else didn't understand the create a character because everybody looks the same. None of our options actually stuck. So next round I entered in, and we end up back at the airport map, but it is a different scenario run. And I choose this demolitions one that is apparently just Ghost Rider. He has grenades, he has a crossbow, I added on an arm drill. It kind of looks a little goofy sitting on him, but the whole game is goofy. And right here, the game I would expect to crash by all the amount of dinosaurs on screen, but somehow it still stays.
Dinosaur call. You are completing objectives slower than the enemy team. Follow.
Here is another weird amalgamation dinosaur of a sniper Nasir. Yeah, a dinosaur that can snipe with goo. I don't know how, but it's a cool enemy type.
Objectives slower than the enemy team. Follow.
Round 2 with the Triceratops coming in, and this time I don't have the big bulky Gatling gun. Now I just have to rely on my grenades and my pyrokinetic attacks. And in a straight way, you could see the devastation this Triceratops is. Like, it looks feral, it looks insane. I've never had any fear of a Triceratops in any Jurassic Park movie or game. This one is putting the fear. It knocked the fuck out of me.
Dinosaur call. Objectives slower than the enemy.
After that, we get to the second to last area defense mission before we get into the PvP section. And then everything changes and the camera switches over and says this.
Carnage module online. Consider this superior dinosaur threat an opportunity for professional growth. Prepare for battle. Thanks for choosing IBS Air and our Bikitoa premium route. Initiating Pteranodon swarm above the runway.
A goddamn dinosaur swarm flying alongside a burning 747.
Your weapons are in upright position. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy the rest of your fight.
I'm absolutely flabbergasted until I realized, oh no, this swarm is coming back to kill me. And this is where the graphical power of this game shows through. Because the amount of dinosaurs are insane, and each one is like its individual thing. It's not like a fake swarm. It's really all of them that you can interact, that get blocked on the shield, that you can blow out of the air. And if you are unlucky enough to not be in a protective shield, they can and will just pick you off and tear you to shreds brutally. And it's awesome.
Final mission.
Then we get into the second PvP section, Charge the Hammer, where you have to grab a hammer that spawns in front of you, kill a bunch of dinosaurs, charge it up, go to this one engine barrier, break it down, and then you move on to the next section, do it a few more times, and then you win.
Barrier A.
after the first barrier was down, we then encountered the T-Rex.
Summoning raptors.
And this thing came through the portal scarier than Thanos. It lives up to the name.
The enemy team has destroyed Barrier A. Summoning gas neosaurs. Summoning raptors.
It two-shots almost every single person. You cannot and should not stand close to a T-Rex under any circumstance. Then it got worse for my team because since we were ahead, the game balances it out by saying, hey, enemy team, are you having a rough go at it? Here, you can take control of a dinosaur and you can spawn over on their side of the map and cause them problems. So now this is a human-controlled T-Rex that's doing combos and tearing us apart. And then once the final barrier on their side is open, it's a mad dash to break the final generator for your team, and it's just an all-out war of you, enemy mechs, dinosaurs, special dinosaurs, AI-controlled dinosaurs, human-controlled dinosaurs. The game somehow doesn't break instantly, even though my mind is.
Dominator has been generated for your team. Use the Dominator to commandeer a dinosaur and attack enemies. Your team's Omega has been reset. The enemy team's Omega hammer has been reset.
Now, one part I didn't like is that even if you were close and you had the hammer, if you took any damage, it completely would reset your strike to win the game. So you have to clear out or completely squad wipe the enemy before you can actually win the game, or you just have to beat them to it. So, unfortunately, we lost, and I've witnessed myself get torn apart by the Velociraptors once again, but at least I went out in a bang and ragdolled all of them. It was kind of fun.
Skip it up and down up.
Switching on to the third round, I went for the Samurai class with just the huge pole washer Dark Souls 3 sword. And it felt like you're a samurai cutting through dinosaurs. The game really makes you feel like a robot samurai cutting through dinosaurs. That's all I can really say.
Summoning raptors.
Now we get to my third T-Rex encounter of my playthrough, and this time it's dinosaur hunt. So the T-Rex just starts running, and then you have to chase down the T-Rex as it leads you from swarm to swarm, and you have to hunt it down before the enemy does. And I severely overestimated my ability to catch it, and it absolutely tricked me into entering a room with 700 Velociraptors.
Summoning pteranodons.
Once I got it cornered, I figured out that the samurai has some crazy Devil May Cry spin attack that if you grapple above it, he also has a reflection mode, he has a holding guard parry mode. He's basically every samurai caricature in video games, but it was pretty cool. Getting to the PvP section, I fought awesome Dilophosaurus, took control of the hammer, and when I wasn't looking, all of a sudden, there was an Ankylosaurus. And this thing is just a tank. It's a moving armored tank. If you are just a bullet shooter robot, you are not going to do any damage. You have to have explosives, and you have to be melee. You have to really change up your strategy. Luckily, my team was able to adapt very fast, and we were able to flip it and set it on fire, and with me finishing off with the hammer. Kind of brutal, but
Summoning raptors. The enemy team has destroyed Barrier B. The enemy team has entered the final area. Catch up to win.
then finally, after 2 deaths and 2 losses, I was able to slam down the hammer and win it for the team. And I even got top of the leaderboard.
You completed all objectives before the enemy team. Your team is victorious. Repeat, you are victorious.
I shall withdraw for now.
Which doctor can repair the team? Keep an eye on your allies' health and provide repairs.
Going into the 4th match, I wanted to try the medic class. But then, once I got into the actual game, I saw someone else took my own drip, so I decided to switch out instead for the light assault class. Now, this one he's kind of like, in my head, he's basically just Nightwing. He's blue, he has electric batons, he's fast, he can do, I added on a jet boost, he can do different martial arts combos, and it looks cool, and he's honestly built for like 1v1 combat. So he can kind of excel in swarms, but he has very light health, and it's a real correlation of the bigger you are, the stronger you are. And if you are some really tiny martial arts robot, you can't take these explosions, you will die.
Summoning Tyrannosaurus.
So after getting pummeled by Ankylosaurus, I decided, alright, let's switch it up. Let's go to the tank. So, huge versus huge. I added on the good old-fashioned drill with his guardian shield, and his main attack is just a big fist.
Dinosaur call. You are completing objectives slow.
Here I am using the shield against the dinosaur swarm until I realize dinosaurs don't have guns, so I might as well just start punching them.
You are great help.
Follow the Watcher. Proceed to next mission.
Once we got to the second to last, we got another dinosaur cull mission, but camera swapped and took control, and we got a new cinematic attack incoming.
Consider this superior dinosaur threat an opportunity for professional growth. Prepare for battle. Summoning a raptor swarm on the main thoroughfare. A barricade of the current size will do little to impede a raptor swarm. If you are not prepared when they
So before the swarm actually hits, I decide, you know what, let me activate this Dominator and let's see if I can mess with the other team real quick before everyone gets overwhelmed.
invade the enemy team's combat area, disrupt the transmission process. Main thoroughfare. A barricade of the game size will do little to impede the rapid assault. If you are not prepared,
Unfortunately though, they did seem a little prepared for me and I wasn't able to do a lot. I was able to get a few kills, but I died triumphantly.
to the final mission. Act quickly to close the performance gap.
And then I figured out that Roadblock's special ability, since everyone has their own, his is just create a tornado. So I ended up with a tornado of flaming velociraptors. And it was glorious. It was beautiful. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for me to survive. The last PvP mission that I saw during my week of play was the Escort Data Key, which really just unlocked the primal Overwatch Reinhardt main in me, so I just protected the payload. And I killed a few Genji players that dared approach.
The enemy data key has progressed 40%. Your allies are on the offensive with the enemy team. Summon raptors. The dominant. Enemy-controlled dinosaur incoming. Prioritize its destruction. Summon sniper. Summon Dilophosaurus. Stay near the data key to escort and complete the mission. Enemy data key has progressed 60%. The enemy data key has progressed 90%. Consider directly attacking enemy exoplanes. Escort progress.
Unfortunately, I got a little bit too overzealous in my ability. Tried to rush the squad because I was at 98%. If I could have just ulted, I could have gotten everybody in a tornado, but it wasn't meant to be. Then after this point, I seem to have just lost the footage of my last two matches. I played as the generic gun robot guy. And then I played another one as one of the medics. The medic one wasn't really that, nothing too crazy happened. The assault one had just basic chase down a T-Rex, fight this, shoot that, go over here. No real cinematic, but there was an interesting PvP area in a desert map, and my team did really well on that one, but it was a close call. But overall, this game is really interesting and crazy. Unfortunately, it's a $60 multiplayer online only experience. And it's from Capcom. So I really don't see it having a huge lifespan. I know, even though I had a lot of fun, I'm not spending $60 up front on this game. If it was free, I would say I would play this relentlessly. If it was $20, I would also play it relentlessly. I don't think it's 60 unless there is a lot more. Now, I did not see anything about a story mode, even though it feels like there is a story. Like, they did point to Leviathan being a secret bad guy or something, but I don't know. It doesn't... The one game mode it has the lack of story, the fact that it's only online, that's a little, I don't know if I like that. Because some of them, it feels like there should be a single player experience, there should be a narrative, there should be 1v1, there should be a bunch of different modes. I could see just PvP, free roam, clear out areas, survival, competitive. But it seems like they're only focusing on team versus team competitive. So I don't know. They broke up the different game modes, added a single story, and continue to add on more dinosaur types. I would like to fight a Spinosaurus. I would like to fight some aquatic dinosaurs, more flying dinosaurs, maybe a Brachiosaurus. Or I don't know how they would do that, but it looks cool. It's graphically cool. It feels great. And I had a new experience almost every time. So if there's work behind it, if they add a bunch of more variety, I would say it's pretty cool. But if it seems to just stay the way it is, $60, I don't know. So that's kind of why I'm making this video, because I'm a little conflicted, because it's the greatest thing ever that I'm probably never going to play.